Hello. So what I'm going to do right now, this video is a little tutorial and it's twofold. It's number one to show you how to use tarot cards, and the other is to show you how to write. Now you're like, Crystalline, I already know how to write. Well, this video is actually in response to one of my very precious students in my certification program who has never professionally written before. Now, if you are a spiritual life coach, or if you want to be a spiritual life coach, you have to write. And the reason you have to write is because you have to communicate what your spiritual philosophy is. So I teach and train my students for like how to write a blog regularly, how to write blog posts, how to write articles. That's one thing you have to write. But also keep in mind that unless you're going to pay a professional to write content for you, you're going to have to write the content yourself. And by content, I mean anything that you will use for things like your sales page. So let's say you create a program and you want to tell people about it. Well, that's what a sales page is for, and that's you who has to write that. And then, of course, the curriculum for your program is something that you have to put in writing. And usually whenever you're doing curriculum, you have to be able to write not just the step-by-step exercises, but you also have to write out why, the philosophy or the theory of what it is that you're doing. So it really is in your interest to learn how to write. Now, here's the wonderful thing about the modern world in which we live. Number one, you don't really have to worry so much about things like your grammar and spelling, because we have apps like Grammarly and Spell Check that can help you correct you so that it can help you improve your written grammar. Also, you can have someone proofread for you and correct things for you, So in my certification program, like what I'm asking the students to do is to post their work. If they want someone to proofread it, let one of the other coaches read it and tell you how it reads. And so it's something that they're able to do for one another and make little simple corrections to kind of help catch things maybe that you couldn't catch before. And it's an inexpensive way, but it also is great because it lets the other students kind of understand, see different styles of writing and presentation and all that stuff. The other reason why now is a great time to be doing this is because the world is really forgiving. I read a lot of what I would consider like not professionally written stuff, but it's still beautiful because it's heartfelt. And I think that it's important to remember that you need to write for your tribe. And when you know your tribe and when your tribe loves you, they are really they're looking to find you. And rather than trying to be the person who communicates everything perfectly, I think it's better to just write from your heart. Write from your heart, get it out the best way you can, and then hand it over to somebody who can look at it. Even, if you've got a kid who's in school and they're studying, they're doing work and they've got to do their papers for school, they know how to put sentences together in a way that can be supportive of you and help you out. And also, you can pay them a couple dollars, like integrate that into their allowance. Okay. So that's one reason why you want to write. You're going to be putting your blog out. You're going to be creating programs. You're going to have to write your own sales content. Also, you know, for people who make videos, they're like, okay, well, I'm going to just make videos for everything. I don't have to write anything. But actually, you still do need to write, even if you're doing videos, because your own philosophy, like, very few people can just sit down in front of a camera and talk and stay on point without having stuff written down. So you're going to have to be able to get clear in your own mind. And this is another way that I use writing. Whenever I have a theory, what I do is I write it out so I can see my bullshit. Because when you think things in your head, you really are only thinking one-dimensionally. It's very difficult to think in big round things when stuff is staying in your head. But when you write it down, it's like having a dialogue with someone else. You're having a dialogue with yourself, but it's an out loud dialogue that you get more depth about. So writing things out helps you learn your subject matter more. So what I want to do is just give you one of my favorite tips for how to start writing and to lose the fear and the ego and to just get lost in the writing. And this is my favorite way of doing it. So what I'm going to do is open up a Google. I'm going to open up a Google thing. What am I opening? First of all, I'm going to share my screen before I forget. Share. Okay, and now I'm going to create a Google Doc, just a plain old white blank doc. Here we go, plain white sheet of paper. So a great way, now this, keep in mind, this is directed towards spiritual life coaches, and spiritual life coaches need to be able to talk about the thing that they are working on. Like whatever it is their pain point is, whatever they are an expert in, that's what you want to really be able to write about really well. You want to be able to communicate it. You want to be able to talk about it. You want to be able to write about it. So what I like to do is to take a tarot card and write whatever the answer is that comes up. So I write down my question, and then I write down, and then I pull the card, and then I write down the answer that comes to me through my mind. So as a spiritual life coach, my pain point that my expertise, or my area of expertise, is the prison of unworthiness. And I like to help women break free from the prison of unworthiness. That's my thing. I'm a badass butterfly, and I view people who are not awakened yet, who are awakening, I view them as being caterpillars, right? They're in the caterpillar stage. And what happens is they start making a decision that they want to change. They want to expand into something bigger. They want to break out of the prison of unworthiness. So what they have to do is break out of that prison of unworthiness by going into a cocoon. Okay, so the body of the caterpillar is a prison of unworthiness. They're ready to grow. So what they have to do is go into that cocoon mode, and then they have to go through metamorphosis, and then they can break free and come out and be the badass butterfly that they have always been. It's just they've been stuck in the prison of the caterpillar's body, which I equate with the prison of unworthiness. So by the way, I love caterpillars. Love them. They are beautiful. They are cuddly. They are decorative. They are intelligent. They are great beasts. But for my metaphor, like, well, in life, a caterpillar's body is really just the shell of the being within. They've done those x-rays, those live x-rays of caterpillars, and you can see the actual butterfly's body contained within the caterpillar. So just because it's inching along like this does not mean there's no butterfly in there. That butterfly is in there. The legs are all tucked up. The wings are all smoothed down. Okay, I think it's called the hymen. That's not actually what it's called. It's called the thorax. but that part of the butterfly is already in there and you can see it. So the butterfly's there. Anyway, all of this is to say, I love caterpillars. Do not step on caterpillars and do not take my name. Don't say badass butterflies, thwack caterpillars. Nope. We love caterpillars, okay? And we love the process of being a caterpillar. It's just we know who we are, and that's a stage to grow through and evolve through, not a stage to be stuck in. That's when the caterpillar's body becomes a prison of unworthiness. All right, now let's ask some questions about unworthiness, right? So, this is what I want you all to do. If you're having trouble writing, I want you to consider doing what I'm doing right now, which is sitting down and thinking about what's bugging me personally, because it's so easy to write about ourselves, so much easier to write about ourselves and our own perspective than to try to write for an audience, especially as a beginning writer. So don't try to write for other people. Don't try to talk about other people and other theories and things if you are not good at that yet. If you're just getting into the writing thing, then start off just writing about your own perspectives, about your own life. That's a great starting point. So I'm in a stage right now where I'm feeling very contented with my life. Let's see, I'm formulating a question. I'm thinking about problems in my life right now. The thing that's coming up for me is Italy. When I return to Italy, I have a little bit of nervousness because there's the nervousness of going back. It's going to feel new. Going back to try to fit myself into the old mold of myself. So now here's where the writing starts. You see how I'm thinking and you see how I'm talking out loud and telling you what the issue is? Actually, what I need to be doing is writing. So right now, I'm going to go silent and I'm going to let you just watch the screen. So instead of me talking, I'm going to share my writing process with you. So here's my writing process. Hello, beloved soul. I am going home in exactly 2 months, and I feel very nervous. I am really nervous. I don't want to go back and be the same person I was 6 months ago. I desire to go back and to be in my authority. My question is, what is it inside me today that must change so that I may have a clean slate and a new, more empowered experience of Italy, of Florence? That's the question. Now I'm going to simply pull a tarot card. The question's already asked. I'm just going to take a card. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. All right, so what I've gotten is the King of Wands reversed And the message is, it's funny because that card, when I opened up the deck, that card was already up. That card was already open, and I looked at that card and I thought, oh shit. And then I asked the question, you know, I pulled again, drew another card and got the exact same card. And so my response is the same, oh shit, oh shit. And when I look at this King of Wands reversed, the King of Wands reversed is telling me that I am just too dampened down to make the changes I want to make. Spirit, you are correct. You are correct, Spirit. I ain't even lying. You ain't even wrong. I'm acknowledging. I am totally acknowledging that I am way too fucking comfortable right now. Ooh, and this is a dangerous place. This is dangerous for me. Okay, I need to come into integrity. I need to come into integrity right now. I need to talk to myself, my spirit. I need to talk to my spirit and actually, no, I need to talk to my ego because my ego is putting me in a false sense of security so that it does not have to risk me going big time. Oh my God. Oh my God. My ego is trying to keep me safe and keep me in a state of status quo so that I do not have to risk failure. It is lulling me into a false sense of security. This happened last in 2017. So this happens every 3 years. I get lulled. I don't take action. I let time slip through my fingers. And I then lose all the wonderful momentum I have built. But not this time. Nope, not happening. We're going to change this. So look, here I am. You see my natural process. This is how I work. This is how I write. Now, you're saying, okay, Crystalline, this is a great journal entry and I love the process, but how do I turn this into a blog? This is how you turn it into a blog that you can publish. I'm going to just keep this writing here and I'm going to say, beloved badass butterflies in training. Have you ever found yourself stuck in your comfort zone? Have you ever known that you need to make changes, but felt so relaxed and safe that you just can't muster the energy to actually take action on your heart's desires, this is a very dangerous place for creative people to be. And this is one of the reasons why we subconsciously self-sabotage. What happens is we find ourselves doing really well. And then, because of the subconscious enemies of worthiness, i.e. self-sabotage, the inner critic, self-doubt, we find ourselves being tricked into feeling a false sense of safety that actually saps our creative flow. I don't know about you, but I need to be hungry in order to create big things. I hate to admit this, but the fact is that my best work comes when I have tremendous pressure put on me. Fear of failure, lack, limited time, and limited funds are the best motivators for me to get my butt in gear and to make things happen. Without those deficits, I will wander, loll, and waste valuable time. Even though I can feel very connected to spirit, I can't take action on spirit's guidance when I'm not behind the 8-ball. So I want to just demonstrate, I hope that I've just demonstrated how I have gone from taking my own personal journey, and then I'm turning it into a blog post. Now, I would write this blog post out, but I'm not interested in doing that right now. I'm much more interested in going and talking to myself, and because I have so much clarity around my problem right now, I'm going to go take care of myself. But I do hope that watching that short process helps you understand how you can use your own problem. One tarot card, I didn't even read the words on that tarot card. All I saw was the King of Wands turned upside down. All right. And I'm like, ooh, he's a fiery guy. If he's on his head, he's fucked up. Okay. That's all I needed to see. And you see how much it opened me up. Of course, it got the fire lit under me, but also you see how I turned that into a potentially really interesting blog post because so many people can relate to that. So a rule of thumb is if it's bugging you, it's bugging somebody else. And so please follow through with the things that bug you. I would take this, let me just very quickly, let's say how if I want to keep this really short, and let's say I do want to use this, I'm going to go back and share my screen again. If I want to make this post, I'm going to put it in red, the post that I would write, right? I'm going to wrap this up really quickly just to show you how quickly you can wrap this up. This is a very dangerous place for creative people to be, and this is one of the reasons why. One of the ways you can wrap it up, just so that you can have something, you want to complete things, right? It's important that we find ourselves completing things. I can't take when I'm not behind the 8 ball. If you find yourself suffering like this, what can you do about it? Number one, you need to understand that if you don't consciously put yourself, if you don't consciously motivate yourself, your inner being is going to create the circumstances that will motivate you. In my case, the enemies of worthiness will be the ones who dominate my circumstances. I will self-sabotage, criticize myself into a puddle of insecurity, and I will doubt myself until I become utterly paralyzed with fear of failure. So rather than being still and letting these guys take over my life, I am making a conscious decision to correct my inner landscape. Here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to give you my quick tips, and then I'm going to go do my own inner work because I have tremendous clarity right now. But here's my advice, beloved badass butterfly in training. Number one, make some goals. Think about what you want to achieve. Write those things down. Number two, make a vision board. This is really fun and highly motivating. 3, get an accountability partner really quickly. Go talk to your successful friends and see what they are doing. Let yourself get competitive and try to keep up with them. Now look, I don't normally advise this, but I am in a crisis of consciousness and I need all the help I can get. So I am definitely going into competitive mode. My business and livelihood depend on it. I know this sounds silly, but I'm dead serious. Number 4, create a game of the circumstances that motivate you. For me, having no money motivates the fuck out of me. So I am about to lock down my savings, and I am going to only keep in my checking just a little bit so that only my barest survival needs are met. This will make my safety arise. I will feel edgy, nervous, and a little bit desperate to make ends meet. The rule is I cannot touch my savings, period. This will help a lot. The other thing to do is write down why you feel unmotivated. Explore your comfort zone and see if there's anything hiding that you need to know about it and need to know about. For example, I have a fear of taking responsibility for things that get really, really big. I am more comfy thinking small and managing things on a small level. This rests in my subconscious, and so I have to be careful to not let it create my three-dimensional experience. So, all right, so this, I hope this is helpful, beloved, and that you can find the inner motivation by getting excited about creation on your own without needing nudges from the negative aspects of life. But keep in mind, if you need the negative nudges, the jailers of unworthiness are there to help you whenever you need it. All right, so boom, blog post done. What's the length of this video? So we have a full-blown blog post, in 30 minutes. We're done. All right, post that baby, share it on Facebook, whatever. Put a cute picture with it and go on about your business. All right, I hope you found this process helpful. Feel free to contact me and let me know how you did with it. I'd love for you to try to do your own posts. That would be really awesome. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Yeah, let me know how you do with everything. You know what I'm getting ready to go do right now. It's 9:30. I'm getting ready to get in bed with my journal so that I can go motivate myself to finish my work. And I'm going to pray. I need to add that to the list. Number one, pray about it. That's the number one thing, because that really is number one thing. Pray about it. Tell God what's going on and ask for loving motivation that does not require you to suffer and lose everything you hold dear. All right. Okay, I'm officially signing off now. Okay, bye.